Okay, pre-algebra, here are some examples of how to work the multiplying and dividing by signed decimals. This is an example of a multiplication problem, and remember, in decimals, you do not have to line the decimals up when you multiply. You just need to multiply. The first thing you can do is notice the signs. This number is negative, this one's positive, so you know your answer is going to be negative. I'm just going to put it way down there. I'll remember that when we're done. So now you can just ignore the sign. I'm going to write it right under the 10.84. And again, you don't have to line the decimals up because you'll deal with the decimals when you're all done. So to multiply, you just do regular multiplication. 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 8 is 56, plus 2 is 58. 7 times 0 is 0, plus 5 is 5, and then 7 times 1 is 7. Do the second row, you put a placeholder 0. 3 times 4 is 12. Carry the 1. 3 times 8 is 24, plus 1 is 25. Okay. Carry the 2, 3 times 0 is 0, plus 2 is 2, and then 3 times 1 is 3. Adding that up, I get 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Then 7 plus 2 is 9, plus 1 is 10. Carry the 1, 3 plus 1 is 4. And so I get that, and now I need to count how many numbers are after a decimal. There are 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to go over 3. So 1, 2, 3. Do like that. And that is your answer. And remember that it was negative because we determined that at the beginning, because that one's negative and that one's positive. Looking at this one, you'll have a few on the back where you have to multiply 3. Just start by multiplying the first two and then multiply that answer by the third one. So if I say negative 2.1 times 3, I could write it like that. I know my answer will be negative because their signs are different, so I'll write that underneath. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. Only one number comes after a decimal, so it goes over once. So I have negative 6.3. Then I'm going to multiply that times my 0.42, and I'll just go ahead and write it right underneath like this. Again, you don't need to line up the decimals because you worry about those at the end. So I'm going to go 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 4 is 12, carry the 1, and then 3 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. Put a placeholder 0 there. 6 times 2 is 12. Carry the 1. 6 times 4 is 24. Plus 1 is 25. And then that would be a 2 right there. Add those up and I get 6, 4, 6, 2. I see I have 1, 2, 3 numbers after a decimal, so I'd move over 3 places. And then I notice that I have this one is a negative and this one is a negative, so my answer is positive. So that is the answer. Looking at a division, when you divide, you're just going to first deal with the decimals. You want the outside number to be a whole number. So I'm going to take this decimal, I'm going to move it over once and put it there. Then I'm going to move this one over once and put it there. And then I'm going to go ahead and move it straight up to the top. Now I can ignore those decimals. I'm just going to erase this and erase that. And now I'm going to divide. So I'm going to look at 41 into 89 and figuring that up. I know that that goes in there twice. And 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 4 is 8. And then I have 7 left over. Drop down my 7. 41 goes into 77 one time. I think I made a mistake, but we'll see how it works. 1 times 41 is 41. Then 36. Yeah, I think I made a mistake when I did this. I am going to pause for a second and I will come back with a new problem. Okay, let's try this one instead of that last one. Sorry about that. Okay, so if I take this one and I move the decimal over once, and then I'm going to take this one and move it over once, and then I move it straight up, and then I'm just going to go ahead and erase that so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to start out by thinking 34 doesn't go into 16, so I'll put a 0 right there. So 34 into 163 will probably go, let's try 5 and see if that works. That's 20. That's 15, 16, 17, so that's too big. It needs to be 4. So I'll figure out what 4 is. That's 16. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 is 13, so we'll do that. So it goes in there 4 times. That's 136. Subtract that. I'm going to go ahead and erase my arrow there. That would be 13. Make that a 5, and I get 27. Drop down the 2, and then I think 34 into 272. Let's try maybe 8. It's kind of a big one. So 8 times 4 is 32. And then 8 times 3 is 24, plus 3 is 27, and that's it. Let's put an 8 up there, and I get 272. That's all done. And then I'm going to notice my signs. I have one negative and another negative, so a negative divided by a negative is a positive. And that's the answer. So that's it. If you have any questions, just be sure to email me. I'll see you guys tomorrow.